Hey guys, welcome back to Salem, Cellar. So after seeing Ant-Man, I've been catching up on my Marvel movies. So today I want to talk to you about a few that I recently watched for the first time. I'll be right back. So the first movie I want to talk about is Thor: Love and Thunder. It took me so long to watch this movie because I was hearing so many bad things about it. I'm like, okay, I'll watch it eventually. It's not top of my list. I really enjoyed the first few movies, especially Ragnarok. I thought it was hysterical. But the other day I'm sitting at home. I'm like, let me check it out. It's streaming on Disney Plus, whatever. I have nothing else to do right now. I watched it and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Now, I understand why people were a little annoyed. Maybe they thought it was like too comical, but so was Ragnarok, and that was a really great movie. Christian Bale as Gore the God Killer, phenomenal. He did such a great job. It took me a while to actually realize that that was Christian Bale. Like, I had no idea at first, and I'm like, wow, that's Christian Bale. He did such a good job. There was enough, like there was funniness, but it was enough where I could be serious with the movie as well. It wasn't a complete joke. I thought like I wasn't going to be able to take the serious scenes serious at all. Like I cried during this movie. I laughed a lot. The goats are hysterical. They literally took the shine of everybody else. Like the goats were amazing. The ending was a really good ending. It just made me like, without too many spoilers in it, it made me excited for the future. It ends with a character that I'm hoping is going to maybe take over and be like part of the next phase of the young superheroes we're gonna get. But I really enjoyed it. I really have no complaints. Again, it's not as good as Ragnarok. Ragnarok was just like amazing to me. I love that movie, but it was a good movie. So I understand why there's some backlash about it and maybe some hate, but I don't really get it. Like it was fun. If you just chill out, watch a movie, enjoy yourself, you would enjoy this movie. Of course, I really love Tessa Thompson in this. She's great as Valkyrie. I love her as an actress. I love her in this film. Natalie Portman. I usually am not a fan of her in this franchise. Like I didn't really like her in the first two movies. I could have done without her. But this movie, even though she might have been annoying sometimes, it made me like her character a little bit more. I kind of like, you see a different side, a more vulnerable side, and you know, she's human and she's going through human things and human problems. So it was kind of like a touching, you know, sad, kind of like brings up a lot of different emotions, kind of like moments with her. And I did appreciate the love they had along with the thunder. You know, it was just not all jokes and it was not just all fun. There were serious things going on and really great things going on in this movie. If you haven't seen it, give it a chance. Don't listen to other people. Make your own opinion about it. It's not that bad. I don't really get the hate. If you didn't like it, maybe give it another chance. Go into it a little bit more open-minded. And Russell Crowe. Yes, he's in this movie and he's Zeus. He does not look like Russell Crowe, or he doesn't look how you would picture Zeus to be. Like he just looked like he works at a pizzeria flipping pizzas. Like he didn't look like a god. I pictured like a muscular built man, not this little New York pizza man. I didn't look like Russell Crowe to me. I was completely thrown off by that. Was I the only one? Were you guys thrown off? I was a little thrown off. Okay, so the next movie that I watched that it took way too long for me to watch is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Yes, I couldn't get to the theaters and then I waited forever for it to stream. But as soon as Disney Plus put it up, I watched it immediately. So I'm a big fan of the first movie. I loved it. Loved. It was perfection to me. And then the second movie was getting a lot of hype. People really loved it. Everybody was saying it was better than the first. So I went into this with really high expectations. It didn't meet my expectations. I'm sorry. I wanted to love it. I wanted to love this film. I just felt like they crammed too much story into like a 3-hour movie. It was just too many things going on. The beginning opening scene was beautiful. It was sad. It ripped out my heart, but I didn't cry. I was really shocked that I didn't cry. I expected to cry, but it was beautiful. I loved that. Then they get into the sister. She bugged me in this. She was just very like a spoiled, and I understand she's going through a lot. I get it. I understand. But she was like kind of a brat, like a misbehaving child. I don't know, it irked me a lot. I get she's going through a lot, and people handle trauma and loss in different ways, but that kind of annoyed me. But throughout the movie, it kind of got better. And just in the most of it, though, kind of like she irritated me. Then you introduce Namor. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. He's introduced, and I was really excited about his character. But sometimes I kind of felt like underwhelmed by it. He's this great god, which I kind of feel like he really is not. The serpent feather god. I'll talk to you guys about that in a second. But he's supposed to be this god, this scary character. And I did enjoy him. And I did enjoy the underwater scenes with his people. It was beautiful. It was exciting. I did really love that. And I'm going to say spoilers because there's really no way for me to talk about this movie without seeing spoilers. You saw this movie, right? I really hope you did. If you didn't, go watch it, pause, come back. But I don't like how sometimes he seems compassionate and warm, and sometimes he just seems straight evil. So I really wanted to like this character, but I really didn't like the character. It was just like, I didn't know how to feel about him. And after you do that to the queen, Angela Bassett, it was really hard to like him. I don't know if somebody killed my mother, if I could be so forgiving. She forgave at the end. She showed who she was, and she's not this spoiled brat. She's a good woman. She's a good queen, and she became that, which I loved that. I really loved it. It came full circle. But I don't know if I would have been as big as she was, at that moment. But I feel like Namor, hopefully I'm saying his name right, because I'm sure somebody will correct me, but I feel like he is a good guy, but he's had so many hateful, horrible things happen to him in his life. It's hard to get past that. And at the very end, you can see his people questioning his authority. Like, I followed you all this time and you're going to bow down to this human? You're a god. So what I wanted to say quickly, I'm going to go back to Thor, Love and Thunder really quick. Now, in this scene where you see Zeus and you see all the other gods, there is a god that one looks like a god from Wakanda, and one looks like the serpent feather god, which I'm assuming that's the god. Now, if that is their god, then Namor is not their god. So I have a theory that in the next, Black Panther movie, that they're going to find out he's not the actual god. He's not the serpent feather god that he's supposed to be. Hopefully I'm saying the right type of god name. But, okay, so let's go back. That's just my theory. That's just me speculating. But so let's go back to Black Panther. So, yeah, it was too much story. Too much. It was a little overwhelming. The action scenes were cool, but not as cool as the first one. I felt like we got a little bit more, in the first film. Michael B. Jordan's back, which is nice. He's very nice to look at. He's a fun character because he's just, he's real. Like, this is, what he speaks is kind of the truth. It's not really the way to go about it, but he's speaking from his heart and how he feels and how he sees the world. So that's all understandable. And Dominique Thorne actually starred in the Black Panther film as Ironheart. I'm really excited to see where she goes with this universe and what part she plays. She's definitely going to play a big role. And she's a great actress, and I liked her in this film. So really excited to see where that goes. And the very end of the film, this is where I broke. Okay, so another spoiler I'm about to say. So at the very end, you find out that there is a little Black Panther. Yes, he is a father. He had a child. And this little boy is 5 years old, I'm pretty sure. And, the sister meets him for the first time. And I lost my mind. I cried and I sobbed like a baby. It was such a beautiful, I'm trying not to cry right now actually. It was such a beautiful scene. It was beautiful. I was surprised I didn't cry in the beginning, but at the end it was like thinking of Chadwick and thinking about him not being here anymore. And, you know, I know this is not his real son, but, you know, in my mind, the character to son, his real son, and it knocked me off my ass. Like, it was a lot. It was heavy. It was beautiful. So I did like that. But I really think I just went into this with really high expectations, and it didn't meet my expectations, unfortunately. The first film was so much better to me. You know, I know a lot of people loved it, but it was a lot. It was a lot to take in, the entire movie. I really, you know, I wanted to love it. But it made me excited for other films. You know, the way they ended it. Like, is his son going to be part of the next set of superheroes? Because we know that they're children, and these younger people, superheroes or metahumans or whatever you want to call them, are going to become the next, you know, not Avengers, but, you know, they're going to become the next part of the you know, the Marvel universe. And we've been hearing so many, you know, so many things about him, like Ant-Man. You have Cassie, and, you know, we watched the Hawkeye series. You know, there's different characters being thrown in. So I wonder if they're going to have him, they're going to do any time jumps or have him be a part of it at all. But I know a lot of people are complaining about Phase 4 and they don't like certain things. I loved it. I don't really have any complaints. I watched the What Ifs. I watched Loki. I watched everything, and except for She-Hulk. I didn't watch that yet. I don't know. I gotta work myself up to seeing it. I haven't watched it yet. But I know a lot of people had issues with it, but I think it's going to go to a great place. I'm really excited. Steven Yeun was just announced to be part of the Thunderbolts. I love him. He's part of like the one of many Walking Dead characters that are now in the MCU, which is really exciting because I love him as an actor. He's wonderful. So I'm really excited to see what he does going forward. Yeah, there's a lot of announcements going on, a lot of great things. I'm really excited to see all these movies and talk to you guys about it. Thank you guys for watching, letting me just ramble on about these two films. I appreciate you. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about both of them. As always, guys, I'll be right back.